Congratulations on your win. With all the talk that you guys had leading up to the fight, did you expect him to be more aggressive than he was tonight?
Yeah, definitely. I never underestimated him. I always expected him to be a good fighter. He's 17-0 for a reason. His father is a world champion, and they've been around for a long time. They know the game, a lot of experience, and there was times where at the start I wanted it to be a bit more, but I got the win, so it's good.
And you had a decisive victory. Obviously, you've been fighting a lot on the UFC Fight Pass. Do you feel any pressure to perform, with the Zuffa boxing, which I'm sure you're going to be a big part of going forward?
Walking out, I felt no pressure. When I got in the ring, after the first round, I didn't feel at my best. I felt sluggish, I felt slow. And I think after that, I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform. When I felt like, I need to be better. And because it was frustrating, because I know how good I can be. I know how much experience I have, and I know what I can do. And I think after I realized I was having a slow night, I put a lot of pressure on myself to perform.
Callum over here, congratulations, man. Callum, it feels like this has always been what it's been building up to when the UFC got behind you. Now being part of this big card, can you just talk a little bit about the whole experience of reaching this moment in your career?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old, and it's such an honor to be here, to fight in front of this many people. It was insane, and for my grandmother to see me, my amateur coaches from Ireland to come over, and the people that have seen me since I was a kid to now see me fight the co-main event, Canelo Crawford. It's an unbelievable experience, and I'm very happy to be here. And, I do feel a bit disappointed because I wanted to be better. But at the end of the day, I beat an undefeated fighter, so I'm happy.
You've obviously headlined your own events. They've taken you back to Ireland. But can you put into words what it was like to walk out there in that stadium for the co-main event tonight?
Oh, it was amazing. This whole week couldn't have been better. I just want to give a massive thank you to the UFC staff, everybody involved with this event, the PI, the stuff that I was able to do this week. Usually with boxing, everything's all over the place, I went to the PI for the weight cut. They helped me the whole weight cut. They provided me with meals, rehydration drinks, and then to walk out and be able to fight in front of, I think it was like 70,000 people. What an honor. I'm 24 years old. I think people forget that too. I'm still learning. I'm still growing into this sport as a pro. And I think tonight I gained a lot of experience.
Final question. Obviously now as you've continued to grow, still undefeated, got some clout now. You could call your shots now. Is there a name in mind that you would like for your next fight?
I'm a very simple man. I just show up and fight. Whoever they want me to fight, I'll show up and try to get the job done. I'll do my best always. I don't have anyone in mind. I know Turkey asked me if I want to fight in November. I said, no problem, just let me know. So I'm willing to fight 5-6 times a year. I have a bit of bruising on my face, but nothing too bad, so I think I'll be back in November.
What was your biggest takeaway from this week? Obviously, we know you fought on some big stages, but this is unlike any other thing you fought. So what was the biggest takeaway maybe from yourself or just how you handled everything this week?
Yeah, everything. This is all new to me, fighting on a stage this big. It's all new, and I think I'll take a lot away from this week, the fight, the warm-up, being here so long, really getting used to hanging around, waiting for the fights, and then the walkout took a lot longer than it usually does for me, to walk out. And nevertheless, I enjoyed every minute of it. I'm very happy to be here, very happy to fight, and I think I'll only grow from this massively. I have an undefeated record on my record now. I fought a 17-0 guy that had 15 knockouts. And people can say what they want about him, but at the end of the day, when you're in there, nobody wants to lose that O, and I think it made him fight harder, and I enjoyed it, and I'd definitely take a lot away from this fight.
You notice a bigger support from the Fighting Irish this time around?
Yeah, the Fighting Irish, the Irish are the best fans in the world. I get great support from Ireland, and I always represent the country, and I try to do it best as possible, and tonight was disappointing for me. I know how much better I can be, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Callum over here, congratulations on your victory. Earlier tonight, your promotional stablemate, Serhiy Bohachuk, lost. Is that a fight that you think would be great for you as a step-up fight moving forward?
I have no idea, I have no idea. I like Serhiy, he's nice. We've sparred before, there's no bad blood there. But at the end of the day, I always say I don't pick and choose fights. We're both fighters, I presume he has the same attitude, he fights anybody. But I don't think it's a fight that will happen. I just don't see it happening.
You've always said that you're ready for the highly credible challengers and contenders. Who out of the top 15 would you think is a perfect step-up fight for you?
Anybody, I don't pick and choose fights. I always say just put somebody in front of me and I'll show up. Give me a date, give me a name, and I'll show up and fight. And like I said, Turkey asked me for November, so we'll see who they put in front of me.
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.